Good morning, people. Si here, tips to TSS, however you know me, the Mancunian. Welcome to day 2 of Chelts, coming from a wet, windy Manchester at 5:10 in the morning. I've had to do this so early because I'm off to Cheltenham myself today for the next 2 days, so I had to get this up nice and early. I'm going to assume the weather has just got worse and worse since I've recorded this. Let's have a recap of yesterday. I said it was going to be a tough day for betting yesterday. You know, if you wanted to win some money yesterday, I thought it'd be tough going. And as I said, if you could muster up 1 or 2 winners yesterday, you were doing really well. And yeah, it played out how I thought it was really. I'm glad I wasn't really putting my hand in my pocket yesterday. You know, I had a few punts here and there, but it was as expected really. A few decent runs, but nothing setting the world alight. So let's just go through yesterday. First race, Classical Dream. I gave you guys a mention for it. Said, you know, it had been backed off the boards and it duly obliged, and it absolutely flew in. My shout for Uderis ran a really good race. Looked to be swinging off the bit, but I think it just travelled a bit too well for the first circuit. Looked to be just doing a bit too much too early, and got his back legs clipped. Going round the bend, turning for home, and he lost all momentum. So he did well to plug on again for 4th and collect us a bit of each way money. But nice winner for Mullins and Walsh in the first race, Classical Dream. You know, if you listened and you jumped on that instead, good luck and well done. The second race, Glenforce, I felt so embarrassed because I said to you guys, watch this horse jump. It jumps like an absolute stag. And he came down at the first or the second. I couldn't believe, but that's just how racing goes sometimes. I expected that horse to travel all over that lot, and it sort of killed the race really for me. Duke Geneva, yeah, it won. I still think Glenforce would have turned that one over if it had stood up, but it didn't. And you know, Duke de Geneva won, and yeah, another one for the Mullins stable. At this point, I started to think they were going to go through the card, looking at what they had left. It just went a bit downhill for them from that moment on. Up for review in the third, you know, I was hoping with Mullins and that I'd keep the run going, Mullins and Walsh. It ran a good race. It was another one that travelled really, really well. Just probably travelled too well and just found nothing. Made a bad mistake 2 or 3 from home, and it just seemed to just take all the running out of its legs and struggled up the hill, and you know, horses went past. Once again, I gave a mention to Beware the Bear. I was so annoyed that he was travelling well up the hill, and you know, I knew that horse would stay on well. It's just one of those frustrating horses. I've followed it for so long and it just never seems to go through with its effort properly and fulfil its potential. So as frustrating as it was nice to see it actually do it yesterday. So if anyone jumped on that, you got a lovely winner at about 33s, I think. And yeah, good winner again. Next race, what a crazy race the Champion Hurdle turned out to be. It's just absolutely nuts. Front 3 in the market. I said to you guys I didn't want to get stuck into that 3. You know, I heard a guy put 80 grand on Booth Dare. 80 grand on a 3-to-1 shot in a 3-horse race. You know, with 2 real strong I thought it was absolute madness that somebody had done that. Like I said to you guys, there's much better chances over the year to back a 3-to-1 shot that's not in a 3-way go. So I thought that was absolute madness, and it turned out that way. Booth Dare fell. Apples J just didn't run its race at all. Lorena went okay, but probably did a bit too much too early again. And it left it open there for Espadelle, and decent winner. But again, it's just the race was killed a little bit, wasn't it? Because we didn't get a true run out of any of the front 3 in the market, maybe Lorena. And I was so annoyed with that race because I was stuck between, I wanted to go for a real outsider, and I was umming and ahhing between Brain Power and Silver Spirit, and I just thought Silver Spirit would be up there, but would run out a puff 2 from home, and it just turned out that it was the one who wasn't running out of puff and kept going, and Nick Lorena for 3rd. Massive bookies benefit that race yesterday, and I'm annoyed because I could have had a place at 100-1 instead of a loser at 35s, but that's how it goes. It's Cheltenham. It's hard to whittle it down to one selection, or you'd be whittling money away every race, you know, and pissing money down the drain. So sorry guys, I've let you down a little bit yesterday. Benny Didier, hate to say I called it, but I told you guys I could see him swinging off the bit, travelling all over him 2 from home and doing any power at the last. And what happened? bit different to Anti-Power really in the way he went down it. You can't blame Ruby. He squeezed the reins. He went for a stride. The horse just didn't put the landing gear down. I couldn't blame him for that at all. It's just really unfortunate because the horse was going to absolutely win by miles. And yeah, that kind of not ruined my day, but it was just frustrating. I had a little saver on Roxanne, who I mentioned could be the lively danger to the winner. The faller and the favourite. And he turned out that he was the one to pick up the pieces, so I got a little bit back on that as a little saver. But rough day for me yesterday, not going to deny it. It was probably the same for a lot of people. Next race, Goodman Pattern Springtown Lake, both ran well. Ran races, I can't grumble too much. I got a run for my money, it didn't quite really get in contention. Both looked to be doing alright. 4 or 5 from home. Springtown Lane just ran out of puff, and Goodman Pat just couldn't quite get into it. He just went, as he went to get onto the tail of the front group, he just either something fell in front of him and hindered him, or he just didn't meet it on a stride himself. And losing that couple of lengths every fence when they're speeding up is fatal. So that was really disappointing. And on to the last race, the lucky last. I thought we were going to recoup a few quid here. I couldn't believe. I mean, Jerry's back. What a run that was to finish third. I mean, I know he's 40 odd lengths behind the front two, but go back and watch that race and look at least 4 times. He got hampered twice by fallers and twice on horses not meeting fences on stride. I thought that was a monumental ride and run. To stay in the saddle from that mistake on the first circuit was unreal. And to manage to creep back into the place money, and we got a nice drift out to 16th, I think. I was happy with that one. The real kick in the dick was Discorama or whatever it was called, Discorama, yeah. I thought it'd go well for the step up in distance. Like I say, it was a lot of unknowns, go over 4 mile, but ran a real race, and it's so frustrating that over 4 miles it came down to an half a length defeat, 2 in another parish compared to the rest. It was just so frustrating that LeBroy just more of a hardy battler, just found that little bit more just up that last couple of 100 yards. Disco, I can't fault, got a lovely jump at the last, and I thought, this is it, here we go, just go past. Just couldn't, so it was a tough finish to the day. We picked up 3 places from my shouts, which isn't good enough, but damage limitation was what yesterday was all about, and today's going to be a lot the same. I'm not looking to get stuck in again today. I'm just going to enjoy the spectacle of Cheltenham, and I advise you guys should do the same. So let's get into today. First race, the Ballymore Novices. Tricky race this. Champ. You've got to love this horse because it's named after the champ, and his little lad loves it. So I'll be hoping this horse runs well, and he's got an obvious chance. But I'm not looking to get stuck in. It's another day. I'm not going to look to get stuck in at the head of the market, mate, because I think some of these prices are way too short for how competitive the races are. City Island and Sam's Profile are interesting, but you guys know Sam's Profile. I really like this horse, but it's got Brian Cooper on it, and I will not touch anything that this guy rides because he's just shocking. So the 2 I will have a bit of a look at is Galvin for Elliott. I think with Davy Russell, that could be a bit of a springer. About 20 to 1, could be interesting. But I'm going to go with Mullins and Walsh for the first race today. Easy game. The handles are soft, should go well. Consistent improver. And he did ridiculously well last time out, considering it wasn't over an ideal trip, and he lost about 20 lengths at the start. So I think at 10, 12 to 1, I think Easy Game should be a good each way shout, should be running on the last few furlongs, so that's my shout in the first. The 210, the RSA. Delta Works is a strong favourite. Course form, goes on the ground. He's going to be tough to beat. But I'm going to have a punt at top of the game. I don't think there's much value in looking outside the front 3 in this one. I think the front 3 probably will have it between them. I'll probably look stupid saying this after what happened yesterday, but I think it should be between the front 3 and the head of the market. Top of the game, it enjoys soft, and he's in rude health at the minute. Should go well. If Cobden can just hold on to the reins just that little bit, this horse needs to be produced right at the death because he doesn't find anything really once he gets out in front. But if he can just get in a nice jumping rhythm and just pop away, and just behind the front runners, and look to just outstay and pick up the pieces, I fancy this one today. I think go all right. Not the greatest price. Not not 41.72. It's not an each way price. So it'd just be a small win punt for me on top of the game. Another one. You're going to notice a recurring theme today, guys. The 250 Coral Cup. Another one for me. Tricky race. That's a recurring theme today, guys. I think it's another tough day's racing, and if you're picking a few winners, I think you'll do well. The ones again head of the market. Sorry, guys, I need a brew. Keep me going. I think this is another race that is absolutely wide open. I think this is really open race. There's a few here at the top of the market. Uradel for me is way too short. On all known info, I couldn't be touching that at 5-1. He can win for half the track for me at that price. I'm not looking to get too involved. Brio Conti's interesting for me. I know Nichols fancies this one, and he likes its chances, so it could be interesting. Kalulta Vic, Cracking Smart are two that could run real good races. Like I said to you guys yesterday, some of the Irish horses haven't been seen on the preferred soft ground, so they could be springers there. Night in Dubai for the Skeltons. I was a bit to find in this race, but at the price, I think it's worth taking a little, very small each way punt. Let's just have a look. You're looking at 33s, 40s, 33s, 20, 28s maybe in and around there. Could be worth a little 50p each way. I think could definitely outrun its price. But I'm going to go for another one at a big price. Diamond Cachua, I think how you say it, for Elliott. With Noel Feely on the back, bit of an unusual combo that too. And he's not run since last April, but it was improving this horse, and I think if they've got it tuned up for this, I think could be a bit of a fly in the ointment. I've noticed the price has been drifting a little bit this morning, which concerns me, but I'm sure that's bound to happen with an horse that's not run for nearly a year. But I could definitely see this horse getting involved, definitely. Like I say, at 25, 33 to 1 shot, I'm going to take a small each way punt on Diamond Cachua. So that's me, guys, in the Coral Cup. Like I say, I'll be taking a swing at quite a few at big prices today. I'm not looking to get stuck in at the head of the market on some of these races at all. Which brings us nicely to the Champion Chase. It's all about Altior, really, isn't it? Unbeaten still. It's not like you can say, that hasn't already been said about this horse. Real impressive, real stunning racehorse. I've had the pleasure of seeing it up close and live a few times. And really impressive horse, and I think if in the mood today, it wins this. But it's Cheltenham, and strange things happen. So it's 2 to 5 on, not 4 to 9 on that, so it's not worth a punt. So this will be a race I'll just be swerving. But I did think maybe having a little swing at Politolog without the favourite, you probably get about 10 to 1. To beat the sort of Min So Royal. I know they fancy they can get a lot closer. I know they went 2 last time with Politolog. They put it up to Altior, and obviously that your wheels are going to come off a lot earlier than Altior's are. So I think if a bit of a clever ride again, it's Cobden again for me today. Him and Nichols could have a big day today. Nichols especially with Cobden on, and other riders. But I think if he can be a bit cleverer in this, right, I think Politolog possibly could come second. I don't think he's a million miles behind Min at all, and So Royal. So about 10 to 1 shot without Altior in the race. That's where I'd be having my pound in the Champion Chase. Like I say, I'll just enjoy watching Altior romp round if that's the case. It's not a race I'll be, going into the overdraft for. Definitely not. The cross-country race, this is one of my favourite races at Cheltenham. I absolutely love it, just the spectacle of it, just jumping these fences. Another race, we've got Tiger Roll at the front head of the market, and if in the mood, I can see this horse demolishing this lot. Really can. But do you want to be taking a 6 to 5 shot in a 4 mile cross-country race at Cheltenham? Not for me. Not for me. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a lot of shrewdies just having a Tiger Roll Altior double, seeing as the back-to-back races. And that, if I was punting, that's probably the way I'd play it if I was going to have a bet. But once again, I think there's a bit of value in looking away from the favourite and just looking at a place. Eugène de Grigan, you know, if my French is holding up there, could be an interesting one. Chased home this horse before round here, and wasn't a million miles away, and I think we'll be primed for this race again. Looking at a 12 to 14 to 1 shot. So whether you just go each way with the favourite in or have a bet without the favourite, it's up to you. But that's what I'll be playing again for just very small stakes. Eugène de Grigan in maybe in multiples each way, or just each way single, or without the favourite, to win without the favourite. I think might be worth a punt. Then we get to these last two races. Crazy races for me. Like I say, this is another day, guys, where I know it's boring and I'm here to try and help you pick some winners, but I think sometimes the biggest winner is not doing your fruit, and just enjoying the day for what it is and having a little small swing of the bat, which is how I'll be playing it again today. The Fred Winter, the 450, it's, like I say, this is wide open, and this race does always churn up big price winners. I don't think something's won it under 25 to 1 for quite a while. If that's right, and there's two in there that interest me: Our Power and Precepts, both big prices, 25 to 1 plus, and they're both running for Alan King. Now I'd have fancied Our Power maybe over Precepts a little bit, but Hutchie, the man Wayne Hutchinson, has he's chose to ride Precepts over Our Power, so I'm going to go with Precepts out the two. Like I say, I'll be having a small punt each way on that. Dogon could be interesting for Nichols again. Like I say, he could sneakily have a big day today. You know, we all know he's got his stable in flying form, so he could easily have an handful today if it all goes well for him. But I'm just going to look past that one. So Precepts it will be for me each way punt, and I might also have a smaller each way punt on Star Max. This horse, I don't understand the disparity in prices. Star Max, you're looking at about 16 to 1 shot, and Band of Outlaws is a 5 to 1 shot. You know, both Joe O'Brien horses. You know, he's got Slevin on the favourite, and Rachel Blackmore on Star Max. Now, I said to you yesterday when in Pluet Tar, I said I didn't fancy the horse, but I love that combination of De Bromhead and Blackmore. I think she's an absolutely cracking, like Josie Gordon on the flat. I think this girl's well up there. You know, and if she gets given the ride, she'd be champion jockey over her, in my opinion. She's really classy rider. And on foot, you know, a direct formula, I don't like usually doing it through a horse that they both beat. There's not a lot in the form between the favourite, who's 5 to 1, and Star Max, who's 16. So I'd rather have a swing at Star Max at 16 with Rachel on the back, and hope she just keeps up her stunning form in the saddle and can pick up a place at that price. So yeah, it'd be Precepts for my main shout each way in that one, and Star Max as a smaller each way bet. Which brings us to this is the one day when you don't want to have done your fruit, and it all comes down to a bumper. You know, it's usually for 20-30 runners, and most haven't ran or only ran once, and it tends to be something gets gambled off the boards and flies in. So it's not a race I'd look to get stuck in early doors. It might be one to wait and play your cards late and see where the money comes down. I can't really get away from two horses in this, to be honest. Blue Sari was mad impressive. You just don't know in some of these Irish races how much of a race they are, which always makes me a bit nervous. But this horse won as it liked, first time up. You know, similar conditions today. It could be something. It could be something a bit. So I think this race always pitches up a few, you know, 3, 4, 5 special horses. Not always the first few home, but there's usually always a few special horses come out of it, and this one could be one. So for me, I'll just be having 2 small stake wins in this race. Blue Sarah, it's a bit odd that it's a 4-year-old, you know, and all the stat. I can't think, was it Q Card was the only 4-year-old to win this race, if my memory serves me correctly. But it's odd that it's a 4-year-old for Mullins, and it's the only one who he's depending on, and he's farmed this race a few times, so that does say a lot that he's happy to go all in with this horse. Could be a telltale sign, who knows, we'll find out at about 5:45. The other one, Asked for Glory, again, Nichols, Cobden. Like I say, these guys could have a big day today. It could be really interesting. And he could go well. The form of his last race, although he won it really easy, the ones that came in behind have ran really badly since. It's not really withheld the form. But I know once again that they really like this horse and they really fancy its chances. And in a race where, you know, form doesn't really stand up for any of them at the minute, it's all, you know, pie in the sky form really, until, you know, they all start running three or four more times and they're running better class race. We can't really tell what horses they're beating. All you can go for what you've seen with your eyes, and from what I've seen with my eyes, these two won really well. So Blue Sari and Ask for Glory for me, probably about 7-2 and 6-1. Small stake wins. So that's it from me today, guys. Like I say, it'll be another day for me where, you know, I might be getting 20 quid out of my pocket and having a little place pot and a couple of little small stake each way lucky 15s. But I will not be doing my choosing today, guys. Like yesterday, I took a small hit on yesterday. You know, we only pitched up 3 each way placed horses. But like I say, sometimes the biggest win is not having the big losses. So for today, for me, I'm just going to be more damage limitation and then just enjoy the day. And, you know, if I can pick up a couple of nice each way priced places or you know, winners, could be a decent day out of nothing where I have no expectations. So that's me for day 2, guys. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow morning for tomorrow's tips and I don't get blown away at Cheltenham today. It's going to be another tricky day, guys. Good luck to you. I hope you can pull a few winners out the bag, and like I say, it'll be similar to yesterday. If you can get 1 or 2 winners on the board, great job, because I think it's going to be tough again. Take care, guys. Best of days. Come on, Cheltenham. Come on. Take it easy, people.